Imagine waking up one morning to find your electricity bill suddenly doubled, even though your country is running mostly on clean, renewable energy. Around the world, solar panels and wind turbines are rising by the millions. But behind the progress, new challenges are emerging. So, is the renewable energy honeymoon really over? Or are we just entering the next stage of the clean power revolution? Over the past decade, renewable energy has exploded worldwide. In Australia, for example, wind and solar jumped from just 1.5% of the grid in 2010 to over 30% today, according to the Australian Energy Market Operator. Across Europe, Asia, and the Americas, the story is similar. Renewables are growing faster than any other energy source, thanks to cheaper technology and the global race to cut emissions. Around the world, the transition to renewable energy is reshaping how nations power their economies. Countries like China, Denmark, and Spain are at the forefront of this transformation, each pushing the boundaries of what's possible with wind, solar, and other clean technologies. Their efforts are not just about reducing emissions, they're about securing energy independence, creating jobs, and preparing for a future where fossil fuels play a much smaller role. But despite their shared ambitions, each country faces a unique set of challenges on the path to a greener grid. Geography, weather patterns, and existing infrastructure all play a role in shaping their strategies and outcomes. Take China, for example. It's building more wind and solar farms than any other nation on Earth, rapidly scaling up its renewable capacity to meet soaring energy demands. Massive investments and government support have made China a global leader in clean energy infrastructure. Yet, the story isn't so simple. To prevent blackouts during periods when the sun isn't shining or the wind isn't blowing, China is also constructing new coal plants. This dual approach ensures a steady supply of electricity, especially during peak demand or extreme weather. By carefully balancing clean and conventional energy sources, China manages to keep its electricity prices relatively stable for both households and businesses, supporting economic growth while gradually reducing its reliance on coal. In contrast, Denmark and Germany have chosen to rely much more heavily on renewables. This commitment has dramatically lowered their carbon emissions and set a global example for clean energy adoption. However, the rapid shift has also contributed to some of the highest power prices in Europe, sparking debates about affordability and the best path forward for a sustainable energy future. Some people claim that more renewables automatically mean higher prices, but that's not entirely true. Electricity costs depend on many things: taxes, market rules, and how a country upgrades its grid. For example, Germany's prices are high mostly due to energy taxes and network fees, not solar panels. Meanwhile, Portugal and Uruguay already run mostly on renewables and have managed to keep prices stable or even lower. So, the real difficulty with renewables isn't really about cost, it's about consistency. While the price of solar panels and wind turbines has dropped dramatically over the past decade, making them more accessible than ever, the real challenge lies in their unpredictable nature. Unlike traditional power plants that can run day and night, renewables depend on the weather, which is always changing and often out of our control. Solar and wind only generate power when the weather allows, but, people need electricity all day, every day. Imagine a cloudy week or a windless night. Energy production drops, but our demand stays the same. This means that even if we install more solar panels or wind turbines, we can't always count on them to deliver power exactly when we need it. Our lives, from charging our phones to running hospitals, depend on a steady, reliable flow of electricity, regardless of whether the sun is shining or the wind is blowing. This creates a timing mismatch. Sometimes there's just too much power, and other times, there's too little. On sunny, windy days, renewables can flood the grid with more electricity than we can use, but when the weather turns, supply can drop off suddenly. Balancing this ever-changing supply with our constant demand is one of the biggest puzzles in modern energy systems. It's not just about having enough power overall, it's about having it at the right moments. Experts actually call this the local saturation point. That's the moment when a region's grid can't handle any more renewable energy without risking instability or waste. It's a technical limit, and reaching it means we can't just keep adding more solar panels or wind turbines without making other changes to the system. Once a grid hits that limit, every new solar panel or turbine just adds more complexity. And, even more costs. unless energy can be stored or moved efficiently. That's why energy storage technologies, like big batteries and improved transmission lines, are so important. They help us save extra power for later or send it to places that need it most. Solving this challenge is key to making renewable energy a reliable backbone for our future power needs. So, how do we fix the saturation problem that comes with integrating more renewable energy into our power grids? As we add more solar and wind, we sometimes generate more electricity than we can use or store, leading to wasted energy and inefficiencies. But there are innovative solutions that can help us make the most of every clean electron we produce. Experts generally point to three main strategies that can help us overcome this challenge and unlock the full potential of renewables. First, we can store extra power in batteries. Modern battery storage systems can soak up surplus energy when the sun is shining or the wind is blowing, and then release it when demand is high or renewables aren't producing as much. This helps smooth out the natural ups and downs of renewable generation. Another powerful storage method is pumped hydro, which uses excess electricity to move water uphill into reservoirs. When we need that energy later, the water is released to flow downhill, spinning turbines and generating electricity on demand. Second, we could build new transmission lines. By expanding and upgrading our grid infrastructure, we can move renewable energy from places where it's abundant, like sunny deserts or windy plains, to cities and regions where it's needed most, even if those places are far apart. This not only reduces waste, but also helps balance supply and demand across larger areas, making the entire system more resilient and efficient. And third, we can use smart grids and artificial intelligence. These advanced technologies can monitor energy flows in real time, predict demand, and automatically adjust how power is distributed. By using real-time data, smart grids and AI can help balance supply and demand instantly, making sure that energy is always available where and when it's needed, and reducing the risk of blackouts or wasted power. The good news? Battery prices have dropped by over 80% since 2010, making storage solutions more affordable and accessible than ever before. And storage technology just keeps on improving, opening up new possibilities for a cleaner, more reliable, and more flexible energy future. Australia is already feeling the side effects of success. In some regions, rooftop solar now produces more electricity than the grid can actually handle. That's why operators sometimes have to switch off home solar systems remotely, just to prevent overloading. To adapt, Australia is investing in smart meters, home batteries, and massive projects like Snowy 2.0, which is actually one of the world's largest pumped hydro systems. So, is the renewable honeymoon over? Not exactly, but honestly, the easy part is. The next stage of the energy transition is tougher, more technical, and, more expensive in the short term. But every major innovation in history, cars, computers, the internet, faced this same middle stage. Renewables are no different. The challenge now is making clean energy not just abundant, but reliable and affordable for everyone. The renewable energy honeymoon might be over, but the journey toward a clean, stable future is just beginning. If you learned something new today, comment yes, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and check out my next video. The hidden costs of green energy. What you're not being told. How hydrogen could power the world by 2050. Let's keep exploring the real stories behind our planet's energy future.